Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, wherever you're coming from. Appreciate you coming back to Dan's Trades. Hopefully it's providing some value. As always, never advice, only for entertainment and or educational purposes only. All right, today is December 9th, 2024. It is Monday, the week after NFP week, so we're looking forward to this week. I was not in my office this morning around the open. 9:30 open was right there. So a nice run up into the new week opening gap, and then a nice drop below. So I didn't see any of this, didn't participate in any of that. I got to my charts a little bit later, and I leveraged the FX4 model, which shows us previous day's high, low, and equilibrium, and multiple other things. I don't have it turned on in the 5-minute chart. Maybe I'll bop it over. Stand by. All right, so I pulled over a separate chart. This is a 50-minute chart looking at previous day's high, previous day's equilibrium, previous day's low, and standard deviations based off of a 9-hour consolidation range. But this is the FX4 model. It's free out there. If you haven't looked, check it out. Highly recommend it. But my trade was based on, since we did miss taking out previous day's low, which it might do now, we'll see. My trade was based on back to the previous day's equilibrium. We will see. So we'll slide this guy back out of the way. Put that back on his screen. And then we're looking at the 5-minute chart here. We're looking for... I took 2 trades actually. One was a scalp. I was thinking since it did miss the previous day's low, I was looking for a scalp lower, but then it got the wrong time of day. Lunch was starting, and lunch macro could definitely run against morning winners. So I had to adjust myself, so I'll throw the executions on real quick. And here's where I was anticipating potentially running for the previous day's low. But since I did miss the majority of the AM session, I corrected myself and I said, no, we're at the wrong time. Yeah, it is the macro starting at 11:45, 11:50, but it's lunch. So I cut it off pretty quick. Just some short profit, so I covered right away. And I said, now we're going to run on. We got the lunch macro starting, so let's look for an opportunity to run back to equilibrium. So we'll jump down to the 1 minute after I saw what I needed for my setup. Jump into the 1 minute. Here's my earlier scalps. So shorted one there, shorted one here, covered right here after we made a swing low. And I said, nope, it's coming back up, and it did. And it just played up in there. So we waited for the next macro, and I said, we're going to go to equilibrium, looking for a late lunch raid. So just consolidated all through lunch. But then coming up on the next macro at the top of the hour for 1 o'clock, we started entering longs. A little bit ahead of my schedule, but this is the front of the macro. FX4 time box, free indicator. If you haven't seen it yet, go check it out. So here's where I got into my longs. Let me do one more thing for us here. All right, I went ahead and just dropped on the FX4 model indicator on this chart, so I didn't have to drag over my other one. But so this was the idea. Previous day's equilibrium's right there. You see we did tag it. Previous day's lows down here. Haven't been there yet. Looks like it might be hunting for it now. We'll see. Free indicator, N-dog, N-dog. And there's the N-wogs up here that we saw from the morning. So that's kind of what we're looking at there. Basis for my trade was just that, a trade back to equilibrium based on the time of day of week, week of month of the year. Everything comes into play. So took one long here inside the macro, took a second one here. We dropped down into an inefficiency, took out some liquidity down here, so I added on below this low. And then one final drop, which was down into 485, which was taking some liquidity down here. So I did get it in early, a little bit dirty than I typically like, but I'm trading micros, so this is within my risk limits. So I had 4 contracts on micros. saw the 1 o'clock candle open start, open low, anticipating a high close, which we exactly got. So scaled in. I hate dollar cost averaging. I typically do not like to do this, but if feel like I have a good handle on what it's doing, I will do it occasionally in micros. Everyone's got their own risk management, just showing you what I did here. And then we watched the second half of the macro play out, and then we started spooling north or upward. We see there was a fair value gap right here, tapped into it. So watching that gave me all of the confidence to be able to watch it. One other piece I will bring over too, since there are multiple pieces that go into trading, is I was looking at another 15-minute chart, just looking at 3 indexes, MES, MNQ, MYM. There was SMT from a session standpoint, whereas lunch on ES did not take the AM lows, nor did MNQ, but YM did. So we had session SMT right here, which is what I'm looking for a confluence in a trade. So session SMT based on that. That was based on me looking for higher prices at the time, which was why I was looking at this. So that, layering on confluences, reading price, down closed candles once we closed above supporting price, fair value gap, tapping into it, run higher, trade into take one off as we hit this end dog, then a second one off as we cleared this high, 524. Then I took one more off as I was clearing 531, which was this high from the previous macro. Actually, this was the final one, so I took off 211. The reason why this one was closed is I just got aggressive with my stop. I could have waited, but I got aggressive and I just moved it up. And it stopped me out right here as it tapped back into the C efficiency. So I've been in this trade for almost an hour, so apparently I'd ran out of mental equity at that point, so I just closed it out. Then I watched it trade up into equilibrium of the previous day. And then, interestingly enough, it's taken a turn back down. And a few other fellow traders took the short side of this. Nice trade there as well. So multiple ways to skin the cat, right back down to the undog. And we're in a macro now. It is 253. That's the real time. That is live price. Markets are open, so these are all executed in live moments. Again, not selling anything, doesn't matter, but that was today's trade review. And it's on a Monday in the lunchtime, so things are really starting to gel together, so I'm loving that. So hopefully that helps. Hopefully that gives you some ideas how to frame some trades if you're looking for that. If you haven't looked at the FX4 model yet, it's completely free. And I'm loving it. So we'll cut her off there. Let's see, where is previous day's low? Still not there yet. We'll see if it leaves it there, engineer some liquidity for later in the week, and I will take it from there. Next week, so there's no high impact news today. We'll take a quick look at tomorrow for Forex calendar, and we have no high impact news tomorrow either, so we won't be taking any long trades. This is, obviously almost an hour, so longer than just a short scalp, so intraday trade. And but not holding long, just taking profits and being happy with it. So got any questions, throw it in the comments, see if I can help you. If not, we will see you again soon. Remember, tomorrow's promise for none of us. Live for today. Take care.